She left me when I needed her most, texting, "I didn't sign up for this," and drained our life savings. But she had no idea what I was capable of. Welcome to Jake's Revenge, where we uncover stories of betrayal and redemption. My name is Logan, 32 years old, head mechanic at Wilson's Auto in Spokane. 4 hours after hearing lymphoma, treatment options, and survival rates, I called my wife Vanessa from the parking lot. Told her to meet me at home to talk. She said she was busy, had errands, would be back later. What did she do with our $38,000 in savings? Stay with Jake's Revenge to find out. When I got home, half the closet was empty. Her suitcase gone. Wedding photo removed from the nightstand. Then the text came, "I didn't sign up for this," with a screenshot showing she'd transferred our entire $38,000, 5 years of savings, to an account in her name only. I stared at the message for a full minute. Typed back 2 words, "Take care." Then I put my phone down, opened a beer, and sat on our back deck, watching the sunset. Didn't cry. Didn't throw anything. Just sat there, feeling the weight of everything shift. The cancer I could face. The betrayal was something else entirely. How far would she go to take everything from me? Keep watching Jake's Revenge for the shocking truth. Tim from next door saw me and walked over to the fence. "Everything all right?" "Saw Vanessa peel out of here earlier with her car packed up." "Got some health news," I said. "She didn't take it well." Tim nodded, not pushing. "Let me know if you need anything. Lisa makes a mean casserole." "Appreciate it," I said. After he left, I pulled out the folder my Uncle Brian gave me last month. He'd retired from estate planning but helped me when my grandfather left me a small piece of land up north. "Everyone needs their affairs in order," he'd said. "Especially when you're married. Protect each other." I'd started the process, updated my will, listed Vanessa as co-owner on the '69 Mustang I'd restored, though I hadn't filed the final paperwork with the DMV yet, set up a secondary account for the land sale proceeds. All to protect us. To protect her. Funny how things work out. I called Brian. "Remember that conversation about estate planning? I need to make some changes." Pause. "Everything okay, Logan?" "No," I said. "But it will be." I met Vanessa at my buddy Drew's wedding in 2016. She was a paralegal, smart, quick-witted, beautiful. We moved in together 6 months later, married the year after. The first few years were good. We saved for a house, bought a fixer-upper. I spent weekends replacing cabinets, refinishing floors, installing plumbing. Vanessa chose paint colors, furniture, posted before and after photos online, called us a renovation success story. My dad died when I was 13. Mom raised me and my sister on a teacher's salary, taught us to work hard, live within our means, always have a backup plan. After Mom passed 2 years ago, that backup plan became even more important. Vanessa came from different stock. Her parents gave her everything: college tuition, new cars, our house's down payment. Her dad, a corporate attorney, always introduced me as Vanessa's husband, never my name. Looking back, the cracks started forming before my diagnosis. 3 months ago, Vanessa talked about moving to Seattle for better opportunities. I resisted. My job was solid, we had friends, the house was nearly paid off. She got quiet, distant, spent time with friends I'd never met. Her comments stung. "Don't you want to do something more with your life than fix cars?" My college roommate's husband just made partner. They're building a vacation home. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I'd moved to Chicago after graduation instead of staying here. I ignored the signs, told myself every marriage has rough patches. When I found a Seattle apartment complex's business card in her purse, I didn't confront her. Just called Brian to update our legal paperwork, started documenting assets. Just in case. 2 weeks later, I went to the doctor for a persistent cold. Found swollen lymph nodes instead. Blood tests. Biopsy. The night before my final diagnosis, we had dinner. She talked about a coworker's promotion. I watched her face, wondering if she'd notice my fear. Everything okay? She asked. Yeah, I lied. Just tired. She nodded, kept eating, didn't push. That should have told me everything. 3 days after Vanessa left, I started chemotherapy. First session hit harder than expected. The nurse hooked up the 4, asked if my ride was in the waiting room. Took an Uber, I said. My wife's out of town. She gave me a look, patted my arm. First one's the hardest. You'll get through this. I nodded, not trusting myself to speak. Hadn't told anyone except Tim that Vanessa was gone for good. Saying it aloud would make it more real, more shameful. When I got home, a casserole was on my porch with a note from Tim's wife, made too much. Enjoy. I knew it was a lie, appreciated it anyway. Tried to eat, couldn't keep anything down. Ended up on the bathroom floor, sweating, shaking, alone. That night, I called my sister Ellie in Portland. Told her everything: cancer, Vanessa, the money. She wanted to drive up immediately. I asked her to wait, needed to sort things out. Next morning, I called my bank. Vanessa emptied our accounts 40 minutes after my call from the doctor's office, before knowing details, just knowing I was sick. That was enough for her to run. Something shifted inside me. Sadness hardened into purpose. I drove to Brian's, brought all financial documents, property records, everything. She can't just take your money like that, he said, reviewing statements. Joint account, I reminded him. Her name's on it too. Brian took off his glasses. Logan, what she did wasn't just cold. It might be illegal. Taking all the money when she knows you're sick, knows you'll have medical bills. Can I prove she knew? I showed him her text. I didn't sign up for this. Brian's expression hardened. That's pretty damning. We spent 3 hours mapping a strategy: Mustang title change, land sale, medical insurance, treatment costs, documenting everything. Later, my phone buzzed. Email from Vanessa's cousin Megan. Logan, I heard what happened. I'm so sorry. I don't know what Vanessa's thinking. I'm here if you need anything. I replied, does Vanessa know about my diagnosis? Megan responded, yes. She told everyone you have cancer but said she couldn't handle it and needed a fresh start. My family's shocked. This isn't right. I thanked her, drove home with the windows down, feeling summer air on my face. For the first time since the diagnosis, I felt clarity. I knew what I needed to do. 2 weeks into treatment, I got a letter from Vanessa's lawyer: divorce, irreconcilable differences, requesting removal from the mortgage but half the house's equity. Nothing about the money she took or my illness. I showed Brian. Pretty bold, he said. Takes your savings knowing you're sick, then wants half the house. What should I do? Don't respond yet, Brian advised. Let's see how far she pushes this. Next day, a text from an unknown number: Logan, it's Vanessa. This is my new number. I know you're upset, but we need to figure this out. My lawyer says I'm entitled to half the house. I didn't respond. 3 days later, Logan, being childish won't help. I know you're going through stuff, but I have rights too. Going through stuff like cancer was a bad mood. I blocked the number. Third chemo session hit hard. Couldn't eat for 2 days, lost 12 pounds. Ellie came from Portland, stayed a week, cleaned, stocked the freezer, drove me to appointments. Another letter from Vanessa's lawyer arrived: more demands, more threats about what I owed her. Ellie was furious. After what she did? She's lucky you haven't sued for the money she stole. We'll get there, I said. The bank sent a certified letter. Vanessa tried removing my name from our joint credit cards, couldn't without my signature. Also tried accessing our safe deposit box, house deed, Mustang title, grandfather's will, but was denied without my key. I called Brian. She's getting desperate, he said. Probably realized she left loose ends. What's my next move? Close the safe deposit box, open a new one in your name only, file the Mustang title change. I took a sick day, went to the bank, closed the box, opened a new one, went to the DMV, removed Vanessa's name from the Mustang title. That night, another text from a new number: "You changed the Mustang title? That car is half mine. You put my name on it." How did she know? I'd filed that morning. Then it clicked, she had someone at the DMV or bank watching my moves. I called Brian. I think she has help. Someone's telling her what I'm doing. Her father has connections, Brian said. Wouldn't put it past him. What do I do? Feed them wrong information. Set a trap. I called the realtor handling my grandfather's land sale, asked her to pause, mentioned exploring other options for liquidating assets. Then called my investment bank about my 401k, asked about early withdrawal, said I was considering options due to medical bills. 2 days later, Vanessa's lawyer demanded a portion of any proceeds from the sale of inherited property and a fair division of retirement accounts. Brian smiled. She took the bait. Now what? Now we show our cards. I focused on my health for a month. Treatments were brutal, but doctors were optimistic. I'd lost 30 pounds, my hair was gone, but my numbers improved. Ellie visited every other weekend, Tim and Lisa checked daily, my boss kept my insurance active. I was surviving cancer and Vanessa's departure. Some nights, I woke reaching for someone who wasn't there. But I stayed focused, next treatment, next move in the chess game Vanessa started. Brian called, we got documents from her bank. Want to guess what she did with your money? Tell me. Transferred it to a new account, then wrote a $30,000 check to her parents. I sat down. Why? Trying to hide it, make it harder to trace or recover. Can she do that? No, Brian said. She transferred joint funds during a known medical crisis, tried hiding them through a third party. The judge will hate that. I don't want a long court battle, Brian. I don't have the energy. Trust me, it won't get that far. They'll settle. 2 days later, leaving treatment, I spotted Vanessa's father's silver BMW in the hospital parking lot. He was watching the entrance. I knocked on his window. He rolled it down, lawyer mask on. Logan. You look unwell. Cancer will do that. Why are you here? Vanessa's concerned. Says you're being unreasonable about the divorce. I almost laughed. Is that what she calls it? Unreasonable? She's prepared to be generous, given your situation. A fair division of assets, including the house. After she took every cent we had? After she left the day I was diagnosed? He looked uncomfortable. She was upset, emotional. People make mistakes. This wasn't a mistake. It was a choice. He sighed. Logan, be practical. You're sick. You need to focus on getting better, not fighting a legal battle you can't afford. They thought I was desperate, broke, that I'd take any settlement. They didn't know about the land sale, the Mustang title change, my documentation. Tell Vanessa I'll have my response by Friday, I said, turning to leave. Logan, he called. Don't make this harder than it needs to be. I didn't look back. Thursday, I met Brian and real estate lawyer Catherine Chen. We reviewed everything, bank records showing Vanessa's withdrawal post-diagnosis, her text, Megan's statement confirming she knew about my cancer, the check to her parents. This is clear-cut financial abandonment, Catherine said. Plus attempted concealment of marital assets. No judge will look kindly on this. So what's our move? We file our own divorce action, demonstrate abandonment during medical crisis, financial malfeasance, asset concealment. We request full recovery of the $38,000 plus legal fees. Will that work? Catherine smiled. I've never seen a cleaner case. They'll fold. And if they don't? Then we go to court, and she loses everything, including her reputation. For the first time in months, I felt hope. Friday morning, Catherine sent our divorce filing with all evidence, bank records, texts, witness statements, medical documentation. By noon, Vanessa's lawyer requested an emergency meeting. That was fast, I told Brian. They weren't expecting you to have ammunition, he said. Thought you were too sick, too broke, too beaten to fight. The meeting was Monday. I spent the weekend resting, preparing. Sunday night, another text from Vanessa, "This is cruel, Logan. I made a mistake, but this is vindictive. My parents can't give the money back right now. You're trying to destroy me." Vindictive? I wasn't the one who abandoned a sick spouse, stole their savings, hid behind lawyers and parents. I texted back, "Actions have consequences." Monday, I met Brian and Catherine at her office. They advised me to say nothing unless asked. Vanessa arrived with her father and lawyer, a thin man with expensive glasses, permanent frown. She looked tanned, rested, like the past months were a vacation while I fought for my life. She wouldn't meet my eyes. Her lawyer spoke, "We've reviewed your filing. While we disagree with your characterization, my client is willing to negotiate to avoid conflict." Catherine smiled. "This isn't a negotiation. It's a courtesy meeting before court. Your client abandoned her husband upon his cancer diagnosis, emptied their accounts, hid the funds through her parents, then demanded additional assets. We have everything documented." Vanessa shifted. Her father leaned forward. "Surely we can reach a reasonable," Catherine cut in, "Your daughter transferred her husband's medical emergency fund to you. We have the check records. Will you return those funds today, or shall we add you to the lawsuit for accepting fraudulently obtained assets?" The room went silent. Vanessa's lawyer cleared his throat. "What exactly are you demanding?" Catherine laid out our terms: full return of the $38,000, Vanessa relinquishes claims to the house, Mustang, land, retirement accounts, assumes legal fees. In exchange, I wouldn't pursue criminal charges for fraud and abandonment. "This is robbery," Vanessa's father muttered. "No," Catherine replied. "Robbery is what your daughter did. This is justice." The meeting ended with their lawyer asking for 48 hours to consider. As we left, Vanessa tried to catch my eye. I walked past without slowing. In the elevator, Brian squeezed my shoulder. "You did good in there." "I didn't do anything. Just sat there." "Sometimes that's the hardest part," he replied. 2 days later, Catherine called. Vanessa accepted all terms. Her parents would return the $38,000 within 30 days. She'd sign papers relinquishing property claims. "It's over," Catherine said. "You won." It didn't feel like winning. It felt like the end of something I thought would last forever, like closing a book halfway through. Still, I slept through the night for the first time since my diagnosis. The settlement money arrived 30 days later, a cashier's check for $38,000. I deposited it, paid down medical bills. Nurse Julia, there from my first treatment, was at the front desk. "You're looking better," she said. "Numbers came back good last week." "Feel better too," I said, handing over the check. She glanced at the amount. "Insurance came through?" "Something like that." The divorce finalized a week later. I signed the papers at Catherine's office, feeling empty, not sad, not angry, just done. "What now?" Brian asked as we left. "Finish treatment. Get better. Figure out what's next." He nodded. "The land sale should close next month. That's another $65,000. And if you decide to sell the Mustang." "Not yet," I said. "I'm not ready to let go of everything." That evening, I sat on my back deck with water, watching the sunset. The chemo nausea had subsided. My hair was growing back, patchy, but there. Doctors used words like "responding well," "promising outlook." My phone buzzed. Email from Megan, "Logan, I heard everything's finalized. I'm sorry for what my family did. Vanessa's parents are selling their Lake Coeur d'Alene cabin to cover the money they owe you. My aunt's furious, blaming you instead of Vanessa. But some of us understand what happened. I hope you're doing better. You deserve that much." I put my phone away, didn't need to engage with their drama anymore. It was time to focus on healing, rebuilding, whatever came next. 6 months later, my oncologist said, complete remission. I let the news sink in. Not cured, lymphoma could return, but for now, the cancer was gone. The battle won. What happens now? I asked. Regular checkups, blood work, scans every 6 months. But for now, Logan, go live your life. I made 2 calls, Ellie, who screamed with joy, then Joel in Missoula, who'd offered me a job at his custom auto shop. Still got space for me? Hell yes, he said. When can you start? A month later, I sold the Spokane house, bought a small cabin outside Missoula, 2 bedrooms, a garage for my tools and Mustang, mountains visible from every window. The day I left Spokane, Tim and Lisa came to say goodbye. Lisa handed me a casserole for the road. I thanked them for the meals, lawn mowing, quiet support. You doing okay? Tim asked. Really okay? Getting there, I said. 3 months into my new life in Montana, a text from an unknown number, Vanessa, I heard you're in remission. I'm glad. I know you won't believe this, but I think about you often. I made a terrible mistake. I was scared, selfish. I'm sorry, Logan. For everything. I read it twice, considered responding. Then typed, I survived. Be well. Blocked the number, put my phone away, went to work on the Mustang, not to sell, but to keep, to restore again, just for me. Some things, once broken, can't be fixed. But others can be rebuilt, stronger than before. I was one of them. Subscribe to Jake's Revenge for more stories of triumph over betrayal.